Okay, here's my 5,500 mile review on the Federal Formosa FD2 car tire I put on my Burgman 650, and so far I am loving it. I honestly think if most people jumped on this bike and didn't know that it had a car tire on the back, they would lean it and think nothing different. I think it is a motorcycle tire. And I'm running 37 psi, and I checked the depth with the calipers here, and right in the center here it was at 7.25 millimeters when it was brand new. Now it's at 5.29, so it's actually lost about almost 2 millimeters over 5,500 miles. And I know they say the center will wear out the fastest, but I was kind of surprised that it's lost that much in that kind of mileage. But it's a $60 tire, so who cares? But also, as far as mileage, I know people say that car tires, sometimes you'll lose miles, and I averaged 51 miles per gallon on my trip that I just did. I just did 4,100 miles in 4 days, and so and it was awesome going through the mountains, going along the coast, and everywhere else. It was leaning, and at one point I was scraping the center stand. I wouldn't recommend that, but it handled totally fine. The only time I had a slight issue, well, it was the tar snakes in the road. I hit them with the front and rear tire, and both of them just slipped for a split second, and of course it caught as soon as it got past that. But other than that, it was flawless. And let's see, some of the things that you'll have to do, or what I did on mine to make it work, is the springs are way too soft on these things, and I don't know if you can see, but right here I added 2 metal rings below the spring. If it'll focus, there's 2 metal rings, so I added that to stiffen up the springs, or shorten them, I guess, a little bit, and that helps it to keep from bottoming out so bad. And then the other thing is I added sheet metal strips underneath the bottom of the underside here, and glued those in with just some construction adhesive, and it will still, if you bottom out, or of course I was way overloaded, and there's a couple times you can kind of see there's little shiny spots right there, right at the top of the line, or the light there, and it just barely nicks that, which better than going through the plastic and then you have a hole in the inside of your under your seat there. So that worked for that. And other than that, I guess as long as you're not on the twisties or trying to keep up with sport bikes or anything like that, car tire is perfect. And I was going through some pretty good turns at about 80, not leaning it over, scraping anything, but it felt pretty solid to me. But if I was racing, definitely just stick with a motorcycle tire. Oh, and here's a line I marked to where it's hard to judge here, but here's your flat tread, here's the sidewall here, and it literally went to there. That's as far as I could get the bike to, well, or the tire to rub up on the side. It never even comes close to any of this, or even where there's a little bit of tread up here, it's not even hitting anywhere close to that. So the tire basically flexes as you lean, and it gets great traction, I think. So the other thing I noticed is when you're going through a turn, let me get this tripod set up. When you're going through a turn, say this is your tire here, and it's kind of blocked off like that. You would think that it would roll like this and be kind of sharp and want to fall, but it doesn't. The tire actually flexes, and it's more like that, where it will roll up, but you still have a ton of traction each time you lean, and just kind of flexes the whole tire, so works great for me. And in case you want to see the trip I did, sorry I don't do editing or any of that mess, but this is a basic kind of overview. Went from North Dallas over to San Diego, up the coast to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then went across to Ely, Nevada, and then went around Lake Tahoe, and there went around Pikes Peak in Colorado there, and I planned on going through Kansas and Oklahoma. I actually skipped this part, went from Pueblo straight down to back to Dallas because I had to get back to work. I was running out of time. But I did 4,100 miles in 4 days, so I actually got 4 iron butts out of this thing, and it handled flawless. Up to I think 100 miles an hour, it was perfectly fine. Oh, and I put balancing beads in the tire too, and they balanced the thing out front and rear. Changed them both before I did the trip, and completely smooth the whole way. So hope this helps, and let me know if you guys have any experience or if you think it's crazy, whatever. I thought it was nuts too, putting this $60 car tire compared to what they're charging for the motorcycle tires is about 180 or so for the whatever this is, the Michelin Pilot. I think it's Pilot Road 4. That's what I have on the front. That's all. Those are the best tires for this Burgman anyways, but hope this helps. Take care.